Watch out.
Anymore, but Monday, here we are once again. Welcome back. I'm Dustin.
I'm Rosie.
And we're excited to have you again on this beautiful, beautiful Monday. It's a little overcast today, but it sure beats that weather we had the last week. It was super hot.
It was hot.
So,
I wanted to run around in bikini all day, but sometimes it's not appropriate.
this is where I zoom in on my face. Oftentimes Rosie says things that are really fun and exciting. Anyways, welcome back to Monday Mix-Up. I'm Dustin, this is Rosie. We're so excited to see you. Last week we had a great guest. I'm sure you are riveting things and you're already gearing up to go to his comedy shows in San Francisco or Sacramento or get on a cruise ship. Wasn't Joey great?
He is so fun to listen to. I love the voices and the faces, and I like his material.
Every time I looked over, you were just like this.
And guess what? We know him. He's in our crowd.
We do. All right, let's get back to it. Google's aside. It's getting down to the last couple letters of the alphabet.
And he has such great hair.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous all the time. And it goes to this great barber in Concord, but he can't remember who it is. He just knows how to get there. I can relate to it. But anyways, aside, we're going to be talking today about the letter U.
You.
The two U's.
The two U's.
Hey.
Remember that show?
Yeah, my cousin Vinny. Who doesn't love that show?
We're totally dating.
So, exactly. Speaking of that, U stands for, in this week, understudy.
And it's not being under somebody to study. So let's just get that really clear.
Two face zooms in one episode. I don't know where to go with this. Rosie, you're gonna get fired. We don't have an HR department,
I'm gonna get
but
fired!
we need one. So understudy, oftentimes you think about that in a theater context, but when you think of understudy, what do you think about?
Well,
and not the under somebody.
I recently have a movie out, should we say?
Yeah.
It's called Strangers, and there are some adult situations, so I had to have an intimacy coach. So when Dustin brought out what the U stands for, I said, not for under somebody to study, right? And he says, no, something totally different.
My God, you're no help with this situation. Rosie, thank you so much. Anyways, understudy. So when we think about it in the context of like theater, we think about the person who's like the backup. Maybe not backup, but they're learning all the lines, they're knowing all the choreography, they've rehearsed everything, being super immersed and entrenched in the script and knowing something so that they can fill in. They can be in the sightlines. They can, what happens if someone breaks a leg?
Is that like an apprentice?
Maybe. Understudy. So what is an advantage of being an understudy, Rosie?
Being able to be slotted into any different situations. It probably is just like somebody who can be a fill-in for all the roles on a set.
Yeah, it's like forced memorization. You really have to know the inside and the out. You're not really just focusing and honing in on one. You're honing in on the entire thing. So I think it's a great opportunity to learn, to hone your craft. To
well-rounded. That's the word.
Exactly. So it's a good thing, right?
I so interrupted him, didn't I?
She does all the time, and it's okay. The power of editing, I can just cut her out.
Cut!
Yeah. She doesn't really watch our channel. She's not actually in the show.
Yes, I do.
No, she is. I know she does. So a disadvantage of being an understudy is that, you're kind of not seen. You're practicing, you're showing up to all the rehearsals, you're knowing everything inside and out. But 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, you don't get used. So,
but
yes.
You have used all that rehearsal time, and it still helps you to develop as an actor.
Absolutely.
And it's the best training, it's memorization, and I still think there's a lot of win for being an understudy, even if you may not be used in that spot.
Right. So,
production.
If you get the opportunity, like say for example, you apply to a role, and they come back to you and say, we really liked your audition. I hear this a lot, so I can verbatim say it. We really liked your audition. We thought you were great. However, we're going to go with somebody else.
But.
Exactly.
But.
Would you consider being the understudy? Say yes.
Yes.
Because understudies get a lot of practice. They get a lot of reps. They get a lot of experience with other people. And if you've listened to any of our episodes, being available, working, and training that muscle is so important, and it's all about networking.
And how many of the projects that we have have started out with, yeah, not this project, but I have you in mind for another one.
Absolutely. Joey last week was just talking to us about the networking capabilities that brought him to the TV, to the movie that he's going to be in.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's going to be pitched as this, but it could turn into that. So anybody could say, you know, it doesn't seem like it has legs. I don't want to be a part of it. But no, you say yes. Because what else have you got to do?
Wait, and I want to say one more thing before you shut this one down.
Please do.
What about if you say you sign up for a background because you're filling some time and you want to, and you love who's producing the movie or the project, and then you get another role, just another step above that background. That's like an understudy.
Yeah.
You're well prepared, and you get a better position on that project.
Also, one time I had a great opportunity. Well, it wasn't the greatest opportunity, then it turned into a great opportunity. I was essentially the backup for somebody in a pretty cool photo shoot for Adobe. And I was like, okay, it's not really paying that much, but it's a great opportunity to network. And then I was at one of my other jobs and I get a phone call that said, so-and-so was in a karate tournament and broke his leg and we need you to be the star.
And you were
I said
ready.
yes, because I was willing to just be the backup. And then it turned into something else. So that's all I'm saying. Just say yes. As long as it's not going to hurt somebody or yourself and you're willing to be understudy.
And let me just say one more thing.
Oh yeah, one more.
Being a backup is a very important role too.
Yes, just like background is very important. There's nothing that can take place there's roles for everybody. We need all the people.
Yep.
You see that guy in the tree right there? We put him there. You didn't see him until I pointed him out, but he's a very important part of the show. He's here every week. And now go back to every episode and make sure his name's Joe. He's right there. He's fluttering in the wind, but he's wearing a green shirt and he blends. But he's very important. And that's why the show's so good.
I'm crying.
She is. And on that note, we should say thank you so much for tuning in. We've had a wonderful experience with each other. And we hope you had a wonderful experience. And we would like you to like and subscribe to our channel. Tell all your friends. Zoom it out there into the universe so that we can become famous.
And if you want to sit here, let us know.
Shout out to the Giants of San Francisco, because I'm wearing the shirt and might as well say it. So, whoop whoop, let's go baseball. All right, see you next week.
Bye.
Ba-dum-bum.